Hello and welcome to the Irish Hunting Podcast, brought to you by myself, Brendan Maguire, and Anthony Grogan. We're going to be bringing you all the best hunting, fishing and field sports from around the country. Hello and welcome back to the Irish Hunting Podcast for episode number 25. On this week's episode we will be talking to Ger Obrien, who is a PRO for the Wild Deer Association of Ireland and is also a committee member for the recently formed FURG group. We'll be discussing all the plans the group have to tackle the new Firearms Expert Committee and some of their proposed legislation changes. We'll also be discussing what's been going on in our club, as well as some very interesting upcoming fishing and hunting events that people may be of interest to. Hope you all enjoy. Anthony Grogan, I've one thing to say to you. Happy anniversary, man.
Our 25th anniversary.
25th anniversary. This is special.
Quarter of a century, man.
Man, honestly, God.
Thought. I think we said that at 2,
yeah,
5,
Jesus Christ,
10.
we're actually doing it.
There's people still listening.
Yeah.
There's people still contacting us, which is good.
We've tried to give it up about 50 times since.
Yeah, we did through that laptop, or through this window, or meta window.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no windows.
Yes, there is no windows in this place, which can be deceiving. It's like Vegas.
So you could imagine two 20-stone bulls here sitting, looking at a small little laptop. Thinking
we always make sure we don't drink Guinness before because it wouldn't be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this close space. Come here, tell me, what's the story? We're on, now this is courtesy of you this time, we're on the IPA. Is it an IPA? It is an IPA, is it?
Yeah, it's a craft IPA. So, my wife. Fucking feminists are going to be
Avril.
Avril's cousin Mark Clark, good friend of mine as well. Mark actually, this is his job now. Went into brewing. Was an enthusiast for a good number of years, and he is. Yeah, he'd be scientific about it. He'd be really clued in terms of his whiskies and his beers.
Okay.
So it's an IPA, Perpetual Dawn. You are kind of new to the IPA game. Would say that you're more of a
yes
a lager man. So I'm trying to convert him into.
I'd be more of a Guinness kind of a man.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, I like on summertime. I like a couple of maybe Coronas and stuff, but IPAs. New.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this one is, juicy, softly bitter, unfiltered and pasteurized IPA brewed with Simcoe, Citra and Cascade hops.
Okay.
Now I think this is my kind of fucking stuff, man. I love it. You are not entirely enthused as yet.
No. It's just a bit sweet for me now, to be honest with you, But it's I could be converted, I suppose. We have another one we're going to try as well, and I'm very much looking forward to that. A little bit sweet for me now, but that's just my own personal taste,
Yeah, no, I'd me and Avril would frequent a place in Galway. There's these kind of craft beers, and that just has that similar taste to our favourite one down there,
Okay. What is your favourite one?
Well, I have a couple. There's the Galway Brewery do a, what's it called? Foam and Fury.
Foaming Fury, okay.
Foam and Fury, yeah.
Foam and Fury, okay.
Yeah, now it'd knock your socks off, but it's
okay.
Yeah, we love it.
Right.
This is cloudy, and I just find this refreshing.
Do you?
I'd love that now, and a nice whiskey now to accompany that.
Yeah. No. I wouldn't be a massive fan of not that beer in particular, but it's just that bit too sweet for me.
Yeah, you acquire a taste for it.
I'm not as much of a hipster as you, man.
Look it. You've another couple of years to go there, man. You're only a nipper.
Yeah, I can just picture you down there in this craft beer place, a pair of white skinny jeans, brown shoes with no socks, a kind of round neck woolen jumper, And
What the
that's what hipsters look like,
How much
man.
are you after drinking, man?
That's a real hipsters thing.
It's only 5 minutes. You're fucking fluters. 6% now.
That's just what I visualize. I can visualize that whole thing.
You're well used to now. Bit of slop produced over Mexico, flew 40,000 miles, warm, cold into the fridge.
Throw a slab of lime in it, she's grand.
Yeah, throw a bit of lime in there to kill the taste of it altogether.
I'm like
and
just
horse 20 bottles of it.
I'm the Irish equivalent of an American hillbilly, man. I love mowing my lawn. I'm like something of a king of the hill, man. I love mowing my lawn and drinking beer. It's just the best thing ever.
What's that flag? You know, that you're like the
Confederate, isn't it? Yeah. I love it, man. It's class. It is deadly. What's been going on, club wise and other? We do a bit of news first.
We'll do the news lot first. We still have.
Here we go.
By the 50th episode, we'll have a little jingle for that.
If we knew how to do one, we would.
But so a couple of things. 1st of April, the dog tracking event in Kilbeheny Hall, the Wild Deer Association of Ireland. We said we'd mention this because we have Ger Obrien from the Wild Deer Association of Ireland on shortly. So Ger talks a little bit about that event actually in the podcast and what's involved. So there's a little bit of training for the dogs. Shows you how to train your dog, track, and much more. So
yeah, exactly. Definitely one to hit. I think it's only a tenner entry, isn't it, for members?
Yeah,
it's nothing. Yeah, and refreshments and all down there. So, and if nothing else, if you don't even have a dog, you'll go down and you'll meet some people that do, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, building that community,
connections. Exactly.
Then the next one is the 29th and the 30th of April, the Spring Angling Fair in Adair.
Ardare.
County Kilkenny. Yeah. Look, we'll post it up anyway. This is one that
we're going to it. I don't care.
Right, okay.
We have to go to it, man.
I will forget about it. It's our anniversary.
Is it?
I don't know.
Bring her.
It's around the end of April. Start of May. No, it's
you have to
there's always debate.
You have to.
See, this is a long going debate right in our house, right?
Okay.
It's either the 3rd or the 5th of May, but like she confused me, man, because I think we were supposed to get married on the 5th.
Okay.
And she changed it to 3rd, or it was supposed to be 3rd and we got married on the 5th. I can't rightly remember, but it's definitely not my fault.
You have not.
And my cousin, right, fair play to her, Evelyn, got me a plaque, or got us a plaque for her wedding.
Yeah. And
it's like, it is a God saver, man. There's no pictures in it because, we haven't just got to fill it yet, but I put it up purposely in the sitting room because, you know, that conversation always comes up. It comes up about once a year.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to be stumped.
Yeah.
So I just look up at it and it has Anthony and Avril on the table.
It's
fucking genius.
It's Catholic.
It's fucking brilliant.
It's fucking cat, man. Sure, I can't fucking tell. I got married like stupidly on my birthday, and I still forget. I don't forget my birthday part.
No.
I always remember my birthday, and then like always like 2 nights before, I go, oh shit. And it's usually my ma says, oh, what are you doing for your anniversary? And then they're like, oh shit, the pain drops. So
we're getting birthday cake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we'll go to that. That's one of the friends of the podcast actually just sent us a reminder of that.
Yes, he did indeed. Yeah. So that's definitely going to be one to go to.
Want to hit it? Yeah,
very, very much looking forward to that. You know.
So and the last big event, we're going to tie this in, which will be over the next couple of weeks. We're going to do a big fundraiser for Daffodil Day.
Yes.
So we'll probably have to set up a GoFundMe page or some fucking thing. I don't know, man. We haven't done this.
No, we haven't. We haven't even really had much of a chance to talk about it. But yeah,
we can do the Father Ted thing, and I'll open an account. That's terrible. I promise, man.
Well, you're definitely having to throw the spanner in the works now.
The money was just resting in my account.
Good on you for fucking bringing that up, man. Fear was doing that.
Well, we make history as the least supported fundraiser in the country. No, we won't.
Every lad look at that and go, fuck that. No, promise.
Yeah, Brendan, keep me in the straight and narrow, man. I know this is, look at, as most people know me, Daffodil Day would mean quite a pile to us in our household. So
absolutely,
and it's probably touched nearly every household in the country. So
yes.
What a brilliant organisation, and I can firsthand speak of this. It's they're underfunded and overworked.
Yes.
So yeah, get behind this one.
Get behind it, and eventually we'll fucking all kick cancer's fucking.
Absolutely. Here. So yeah, we have a few prizes for that.
Yes, absolutely. So anyone that's out there that's listening, all your gun and fishing supply shops, if you just want to donate some prizes, we would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we'll probably try and put a bulk or a couple of prizes up and do a bit of a raffle. First to the table with some prizes is a company I do want to give a mention to, and it's Lakeside Products. Lakeside Products they're a new Irish company. They're formed, I suppose, mainly by two conservation enthusiasts with a goal of they want to construct high quality traps. Yeah, we've seen there's other ones out there. These, I can attest to these. They have very, very kindly donated a Larson trap and a mink trap as prizes.
Brilliant.
And these things you really have to see them to believe them. So Andy and PJ are the two lads that are both heavily involved in that. So yeah, definitely. Thanks again. If anyone that's out there club wise and stuff, I believe there even is some grants available through some certain avenues. Give them a shout. Have a look up. You'll get them on their website is lakesideproducts.ie. Go on and have a look. And you've seen them, and there's some serious gear.
Yeah, like they're the real deal. And like that, if you're buying your vermin control products, you know, your Larson traps, your mink traps, and you're with the NARGC, again, I'm just saying that I probably other organisations do similar.
Yes.
But they will stump up a portion of the spend on I think it's up to 50% actually.
Yes.
Of your vermin control products.
Yeah, and the NARGC actually they buy their trouble traps off these fellas. Yeah. So
they're good quality.
They're good quality. Give them a shout out. Lakesideproducts.ie. You'll find them on Facebook.
And thanks, lads.
Cheers, guys.
We'll throw a few bit of IHP merchandise into the mix.
We'll have to order more probably. Have we any left?
We have a few left. There's a couple left. I mean, actually, there's a few orders in there now, and I'll have to I haven't had fucking chance, man. We have to delve through them, get them all out, and see what we're left with, because it's an ongoing.
Yeah,
I'll have to get some kind of a proper system for doing it. But
it's
anyway,
hard to get time to do it all, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll do a little bit of that. And what else do we have for that? Oh, the Fran O'Toole has the gunsling finish.
Savage.
Did you see it?
Yeah, 100%, man. I better win that.
Yeah.
It is deadly.
Can we enter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Free country.
Free country. Yeah. Of course we can. Yeah, we can buy tickets.
So we're going to roll up the numbers in a little piece of paper and we'll throw them out.
Exactly. Yeah. Behind closed doors where no one can see it.
Yeah.
No.
We'll do a kind of bonus ball on the lot or stuff or something like that. You know, we'll come up with something. But
yes.
So just first and foremost, companies, anyone offering an experience or a prize, get in contact. We've only a couple of weeks to do it, just last minute as usual with us, but try and get behind this one, lads.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
What else is going on?
I suppose, well, obviously we're going to be bringing you the interview with Ger shortly, which is I suppose the hot topic at the minute, and we'll talk more about it in a minute. Gun club wise, what have you been doing? Were you out last weekend? No, you was doing.
Was I out last weekend?
In the club?
I was.
You were doing some vermin control.
Yes, during the week.
Fair play.
Yeah, so that's right. Yeah, we were supposed to go out, but you let me down, of course. Yeah, I was with Matt.
I was busy fixing our fucking boat trailer, but go on anyway. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, our boat. Yeah, that's another.
Yeah,
sure. We forgot where we're at, but I think it was Tuesday night, was it?
Yes.
Tuesday night. Yeah. So I'd said to Harold, I won't. And then
Monday night. Yes.
Yeah. And I wanted to get out. It was fucking the weather wasn't great over the weekend, and I hadn't got out in a couple of weeks, and so I wanted to get out, and I was glad I did. I just I didn't want a night sitting in front of fucking television, warm fire, and beer in front of you.
No, who wants
all
that?
the nice stuff?
Fuck that.
So I wanted to get out and do a bit, more overdue. Yeah. So anyway, went out to Lane, packed up all my gear, my new bag. Horsed into the back. Isn't it a brilliant job?
Brilliant job. It is a brilliant job. Absolutely.
Everything into it.
Yes.
And horsed that into the back and pulled out my lane. And I said, I'll just go down and check the fields first,
Yes.
right beside me.
Yeah.
And I'd gone no more than 50 yards, looked out in the field, and here was the first fox out grazing in the middle of the field.
Big dog fox.
It was a vixen, actually.
Oh, was it?
I told you it was dog fox by accident when I was on the thing, but it was two vixens actually.
Okay.
So 227 yards. I didn't even enter the field. It was just, there was a little crush. Okay. The first gate was open, just on the post.
Okay.
And took him right through chest.
Holy shit!
And still
good distance.
Yeah. Ran a little bit still.
Yeah.
You've probably seen the video.
Yes.
But that was the first one. Went down to the end, and that fucking, there's a dog fox down the end of that, man. That's a loot. Remember, he's down there. I think I've had 2 or 3 videos of this fucker.
Yeah, is that the one? Is that the same
at the farmyard?
Oh, down at the farmyard. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did we see him that night?
Yeah.
But he wasn't in that field. He was on the just before it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But will not come near a call, man. And the very minute a lamp goes on him, so I go down there and I turn off the Jeep lights just as I'm going into the farmyard, and I always put on night vision, and you'll see him. But the very minute a torch goes on him, he's gone.
Is he?
Little funger. But 300 odd yards. I had a pop at him.
Yeah,
but I didn't get him.
Did you not? No.
No, I was feeling like He-Man after the first one. That brought me back.
Leave the long ones to me. But anyway, go on.
Look. I made him jump anyway, but I went out into the field anyway, just in the off chance, in case I, clipped him, and the amount of snipe getting up.
You were saying that
it was like something out of
brilliant.
It was just, there were flutters of them getting up everywhere, and the field's wet.
Mad, yeah.
Yeah, like in their droves, man. And then I came back up just by the drain, and here you couldn't see it in the picture I sent you, but it was
a couple of mallard, was it?
Yeah.
Brilliant, yeah. I'm after seeing more mallard, man, the past couple of days.
Isn't it brilliant?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So come on back up then, and went up around the club and the back of the club, back at the home place there, and up the bog. And say, one more field.
Yeah, as you'd have a fucking habit of doing. I will add.
Quarter to 1.
Yeah.
But similar, seen another 2. One wasn't safe to take. It was, open field, and the road was behind it.
Okay.
Couldn't take him. Seen a badger, got him in the video. I think I sent it to you.
You did send me the video, yeah.
And a couple of hares and a couple of rabbits.
Great. Savage.
Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
There was one lad, this is fucking, I seen him through there was a little bit of a kind of a yard, and I'd walk up the lane a little bit, and I'd lamp back, and I'd catch 2 eyes. I thought, grand, I go into that gate, the entrance to the field, I'll be able to, he'll be head on. I'd walk the 200 or 300 yards back up into the field, lamp, nothing, knife, nothing. I walk back up the fucking lane, do the exact same thing again. Here he was, and he peering out again, This happened 3-4 times. I just gave up. I said, oh, fuck it, I have enough. 12:30.
Yeah.
Hopped into the Jeep, and I was going out the lane, and I just happened to lamp the field to the left, and here was another fox. This is the second one I shot.
Second one, yes.
I think 181 yards to the gate again. Deadly. Just at the entrance to the field. And I clipped her.
Job done.
So 2 less, and but seen 6 in total. Like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Some numbers, man.
It's outrageous. Yeah. You give it, you get a night or two when the numbers are down, and you think, that's it, and then you give it a weekend, and oh, banana adjacent, or they're out in force again. Yeah, it's mad.
A fox can have up to. They can have up to. The average size litter is 5 to 6, I think.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
No natural predator.
But they can have more, as far as I know.
Yeah, I would say the Seth definitely would, yeah. So there you go. There's any amount of them there, isn't there?
Yeah, so that's, and yourself, you were out in the club over the weekend?
We were out on Saturday, was it? No, Sunday. We were out on Sunday. Yeah, Saturday was a dreadful day. Yeah, we were out on Sunday, put in a good day out there, repaired a couple of bridges, pedestrian bridges that weren't great. Fixed up a couple of the pens, actually one of our big pens, done a savage job of that now. That turned out really well. Just reinforced it, fixed up, some of the perimeters, put up another load of roosts. And it was great. We'll probably do another.
Do you put straw down in your pens?
No, we don't really need to be honest with you. No, we don't really need to. Now, on one of them last year, which a pen that we're not actually going to use this year, one that we did have to last year on one occasion because it was kind of just wet and it would pool. But no, for the majority of the time, it's actually pretty good.
You're not nesting, you're not breeding or anything.
No.
we'll probably have to put down a little bit of straw on ours, I think.
Yes, no harm. Yeah, no, I say just on one particular last year we did in one area, but no, they're pretty good now. In fairness.
Good stuff.
Putting
good
in
stuff.
some shelter for them, and
good.
all is good. Yeah,
Vermin control. Are you doing much?
The lads have been out up and down. Setting a couple of mink traps up and down. A couple of weeks ago and stuff, but just keeping an eye on it now. Yeah, the lads have it fairly well under control. I haven't been out now. To be honest, I haven't done any vermin control out there in a while.
Yeah,
but the rest of the lads, they're keeping an eye on it. It's good. It's doing good,
I collected a couple of a couple of mags today just for a few of my traps, just to get just a couple of magpies locally. So I want to snare them. And
brilliant. Give me. Have you a spare magpie now?
I only picked up 2 callers today, so I should have hopefully by the end of the week.
Yeah, grand. Happy days.
Of course.
Yeah.
So that brings and then the Connor is he has 4 or 5 of the Neston boxes. Med, you actually seen them?
I did.
Nice
Great job. Very good job. Yeah, it's brilliant.
So he's hammering away at them, and I dropped them up with felt just for the lids, and so he's we're hoping now in the next 2 weeks we'll get them mounted.
Brilliant.
With of course thanks to Joe Mann and Motors for sponsoring that. There's another few big companies, and I'm just telling you now, lads, if you don't sponsor me, I'm going to name it. Some of them are on television, man, and they're promoting the green life and all this kind of stuff here. Here, this is the real green life.
Green life. Yeah, no, you're right. You're dead right, lad. I won't send you away anyway. Yeah. Fair fucking play to you. Fair fucks to you. Come here. You showed me a picture of a young man that is doing some fantastic work.
Yeah, and this is what it's all about, isn't it?
This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
In my young lads, Ryan's class is a young man by the name of Sean Hoolan. Mm-hmm. And Sean is manufacturing bird boxes and owl boxes.
I've seen them. These things are
Aren't they brilliant?
These things are for 12 years of age.
Yeah, for 32, 42 to be good.
They would but that's what I'm saying. For a young man at that age, it's absolutely unbelievable he's doing.
Isn't
it? Fantastic. Yeah,
and so he's making them out the back of his own house. He's doing it in his own time. And I'll be getting a couple of them off him for the club. So if anyone wants bird boxes or owl boxes, and you want to get behind this initiative locally, we're, as I say, the Gun Club are putting out 10 or 12. And if anyone else would like to get one for their barn, they're ready-made predator control. Encourage natural vermin control. Get in contact with Sean.
Put me down for 2 bird boxes, will you?
I will indeed.
Put me down for two of those. They're fantastic. I'm going to put some in my spruce trees here, and
brilliant.
It'll be great to see a couple of little birds in there. Yeah,
that'd be brilliant. Yeah, so they're well put together. They're lovely, presentable.
They're really nice. Decorative. They are. Yeah, they're deadly. Yeah.
So well done, Sean. And
good on you.
I know you'll probably listen to the podcast. So if all his classmates are listening to this, get behind Sean.
Yeah,
give him a dig out. And as I said, look, we want more of that type of stuff.
Yes, without a doubt. Great. That's a great initiative and well done and great work.
Another idea for Sean is insect hotels and bits and pieces there as well. So yes, they're a big deal, and hopefully we'll be getting around to schools in the coming weeks with the Carers of the Countryside initiative.
Yes.
So I've contacted your principal. Have a little word with him there.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Tell him to get us in.
yeah. I'm sure we won't swear.
Yeah. No. Sorry. And if you are listening to this,
apologies.
I know nobody in your house swears. Claire and John will attest to that.
I'm not going to swear for the whole rest of this podcast.
Okay. If Ryan's class are listening, you can now tune out.
Exactly. No,
we're not too bad.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. Brilliant stuff,
brilliant, isn't it?
Fantastic and good work, man. Good work if you're listening out there. Yeah. I suppose we better move on to our interview, which was amazing. We had obviously done this over a video, which we won't get to show you the video, but we were standing there talking to this man who is a taxidermist, turns out, and we're just standing there, and he's just having a chat with us, and there is a line, a genuine, full-size taxidermist line over his right shoulder, and he does a lot of work for the museum.
Museum, is it? He drafts and...
Giraffes, man, it's crazy. It's brilliant stuff. Great stuff.
Phenomenal,
so Ger was a very, very nice fella to talk to. I'm sure a man of phenomenal experience
and knowledge,
and it was great to talk to him, and it was great to get, I suppose, a direction, what's going on, and as well as that, a timeline.
Yeah.
On what's going on,
Yeah, and look, at probably for the first time, Brenny, we've been we've been told to calm down and calm the jets. So we did. Listen to the interview. You'll hear.
We did. We said we gave him a deadline.
We'll hold fire. Pardon the pun.
We'll hold fire until exactly. So look at this is
hope you enjoy it.
Hope you enjoy it. This is going to be Ger, and have a listen, and hope you all enjoy.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Untethered and Wanderwise, where adventure has no age limit. We're your co-host, Heidi Brandis and Nikki Mahundro, and we're here to inspire and celebrate women over 45 who are embracing their independence and want to explore the world on their own terms.
Ger Obrien, welcome along to the Irish Hunting Podcast. How are you, Ger?
Brendan, Anthony, how are you?
We're good.
We're glad to be on board.
We're having a look at some of the stuff you have in the bag. We weren't actually aware you were a taxidermist. My God, it's...
yeah. You could see anything here.
Just for the listeners, I suppose there's a lion sitting here on Ger's shoulder.
an actual lion.
Yeah.
Lion.
Wow.
All sorts there. You could see anything here. There's a giraffe here over the other side of me.
Wow. Wow. God, that is something else.
That's all museum stuff that I do,
My goodness. You must be very good at it if you're doing museum stuff, Ger.
Sure, I'm 40 years at it, so...
My God.
And have a couple of people working with me here as well, so...
Brilliant.
We're busy. We kept going.
Brilliant stuff. I suppose we'll start off, Ger. For those who may not know, you're obviously you're the PRO for the Wild Deer Association of Ireland, which is I think everybody will know who they are and what they're about. And you're
they should do. Yeah,
and you're also a committee member for the I suppose recently formed the FURG committee, FURG.
Yes. Yeah.
Great stuff.
How long have you been? Well, obviously, you shoot a bit of deer, or you did shoot a bit of deer, or you are shooting a bit of deer, Ger, in your spare time.
Yeah, I the Wild Deer Association was formed in 1981. I joined them in 1989, and I've been deer stalking since then, and involved with everything to do with deer. I farmed them at one time, and I spend a lot of time out with deer, studying deer, looking at deer, whether it's on season or off season. I go out anyway,
Very good.
And how did you get into deer in the first place, Ger? What was the...
through my job here with the taxidermy, doing deer heads for people and that I got interested in myself then. All wildlife. I was always reared in pheasants and anything to do with wildlife, really.
You did a bit of rough shooting as well, you did?
Oh, I did, yeah, I did too much. Nearly went broke at
There's a lot of lads can confer with that. Two of them here.
Absolutely, without a doubt. There's worse things you could be at. There's
an addiction.
You could be at,
There is worse things you could be at, exactly, yeah.
As George Best says, he spent most of my money I spent on women, drink and drugs, and the rest of it I squandered. He says, similar for hunters.
Good one.
Exactly. He was some detail. I suppose with the Wild Deer Association of Ireland, your role within that, obviously you're the PRO. What kind of stuff would you do on a kind of a daily or weekly basis? That end of things.
I was chairman of it there for the past 3 years, and Ray Shore has taken over that job, and I got landed with the PRO job. But it's organising like dog tracking events. On the 1st of April now we have a dog tracking event coming up there where we bring over the guys from the UK, their UK DTR. They come over and do a training course with us to show people how to train a dog for tracking deer, wounded deer, roadkill deer. So we do that kind of thing. Then we'll have various shoots. We have a shoot in May. We have humane dispatch course. We have lots of courses coming up. We have a practical on the ground courses for people.
Yes.
We don't do online stuff because it's pointless. You can't do that type of work online.
Yeah, I agree there. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
And how many members are in the Wild Deer Association, Ger?
We have about 500 now at the moment. It comes and goes. People join to get their age cap and to find out about deer, and then they disappear then for a while, and they wander back on and off. But it was never more important for people to be in any organisation, whatever it is now. Everybody has to be represented now at the moment, because this is probably one of the biggest challenges we've ever faced. And if we don't unite and stand together, we're in serious trouble. The future of our sport is in.
You're here, yeah. There'll be no arguments on this side, anyone. That's for sure. Yeah.
And come here, Ger. I suppose like what is it like for somebody looking or maybe thinking about joining the Wild Deer Association? What are the benefits of being within your organisation? That might seem like a what would you say, a rhetorical question, but what does it entail? What is it like? Is there insurance involved? Is there?
Yeah, we're affiliated with the NRGC. Yeah, this year we were always with Country Sports Ireland, which were good. I can't complain about them.
Yeah.
We affiliate with the NRGC this year. That gives us comprehensive insurance to run events. That's where we really need a cover for running events and stuff like that. So you're covered with that. You get a lot of training courses. Our courses are actually on the ground courses where we actually do a physical course.
Yeah. Yes.
You get a lot of deer stalking knowledge then as regards how to go about deer stalking, how to build high seats. We don't provide shooting for anybody. You get your own shooting. We don't provide shooting. We do some very fun days out.
Yeah,
good stuff. Yeah.
So for people like myself and Brendan, I suppose, who are relatively new to it, we get, what would you say? We get comprehensive access to knowledge from yourself, who's been at it a long time now, and others, which is, I suppose, for a long time, I suppose, a lot of secrets would be guarded. You know what I mean? Lads wouldn't want to tell other lads secrets and stuff like that.
Yes,
how they're going about it. But I think there's a realization now, I suppose, that we have to pass it on to the next generation.
Yeah, that's what happens. What we're trying to do is, Sorry, I cut across you there. You were stopped for a minute.
You're grand.
You're fine. Fire away, Ger.
Yeah, no. What we're trying to do is teach people how to stalk ethically, and we want to get away from this 500-600 yard shots at deer that people post on Facebook. That's totally opposed to what we do. All our shooting is done in less than 300 yards, and we always recommend that people get within 100 yards. And if you have to shoot an animal, you do it cleanly and you do it humanely. If you want to do any long distance shooting, do it at paper, but not at deer, not 500 and 600 yards at deer. It's not right. I know you see it in all the American channels, but it's the chances of something going wrong and the chances of wounding an animal is great.
Yeah.
We try to teach people not to do that, how to stalk in properly into an animal. It's called deer stalking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I suppose one question, like, what's your stance on a lot of it's suppose it's not common knowledge, and there's obviously a massive amount of lads out there illegally shooting deer at night time. That seems to be a massive issue at the minute that would definitely need some. It
is, definitely that needs to be taken in hand. Definitely, like we say to all our members, if you see any illegal activity, report it. Take registration numbers. If it's at night time, don't approach anybody. Keep your own safety in mind at all times.
Mm-hmm.
But get dates and times and registration numbers, and report it all the time, because you see there's a bit of a controversy at the moment about deer numbers, and the poachers are using that to their advantage now. They're saying, "Oh, we're really doing favours for farmers," but they're not. They're not. Lamping is never right.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
And you touched on that there, Ger. I suppose the deer numbers at the minute, there's what's your stance from a point of view of a man on the ground?
I get it in the neck from even some of our own members. I will say deer numbers are out of control in certain areas. Definitely. There's reasons in most areas why they're out of control. I know COVID was a big thing because restaurants and hotels weren't taking in venison, and the price of venison had dropped. But definitely, Wicklow, I think, is commercial shooting is really the problem there, because the vast majority of Wicklow now is owned by commercial operators.
Yeah.
And I hunted in Wicklow for 25 years, and I haven't been in Wicklow for the past 5 or 6 years simply because I couldn't afford it. I mean,
Yes.
you really have to put your hand deep in your pocket now to go to Wicklow to shoot. And the commercial operators really get back their VAT on their guns, on their diesel, on their jeeps, on whatever equipment that they have, and they can charge huge money to the foreigner coming in. And we'll say 15, 20 years ago, those people are always there to some degree, but they only lease the quilted woods at one stage. But now they have a block of quilted wood here and private forestry here, but they're paying for all the farm shooting now as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's excluding the ordinary stalker now is being pushed out all the time.
Yes. Yeah. I suppose one thing I always felt strongly about, like, I suppose obviously there's a market for it, but I always thought when there was lads that were doing it for a living, takes the good, like when I mean for a living, I mean as regards, selling the meat. I think that kind of puts, I suppose, a pressure on the system to a certain degree. Like for the likes of myself and Andy here, who've done any courses and that we can, we'd be lucky if we got 5 or 6 deer in the year. Would be big going for us. Like and even at that, we travel the 4 corners of Ireland to get them. And it's when you see lads going out there and on an evening, or well, they'll argue it's not an evening, but you go out and getting 5 and 6 and 7 at a time. That's more. That's where I think there's a big issue.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. No, that's not right either. That's not fair to anybody there doing that.
Yeah, well, we'd have. I'd have a belief. Maybe it's a traditional belief. That Ireland being what it was. We both grew up kind of rough shooting and stuff. And it's I suppose. There's pretty much a kind of a common agreement between farmers and the hunters.
Mm-hmm.
We did our bit for the farmer, and the farmer did his bit for us. And as you pointed on there now, I suppose it's probably a little bit distasteful now that the new kind of arrangements there between farmers and kind of commercial hunters, and it's not working out too well in the likes of Wicklow. Because we were up there ourselves, and there's huge numbers, and there's farmers now starting to turn back to the traditional deer stalker, the deer hunter now, and saying, look, come back in here and do what you've been doing for the last 20, 30 years, maybe, and that's, if it was kept that way, nice and reasonable, and everyone up and took a couple of deer out of it, and we wouldn't be at the situation we are now, where it's been let get out of control, basically,
Yeah, it's out of control in parts of Wicklow. I was up with the Wicklow Deer Management Group. They've released their findings there recently, and they brought me up and showed me a few areas where they were having problems, where there was big numbers of deer coming out on farmers' lands. And one particular farmer was showing me the fields up near the forestry up over his house that he used to keep for silage, and now he said he has to graze it now and keep the fields near the house for silage because there were so many deer. There could be 30, 40 deer in it. And I said, is the wood leased? And he said, it is, yeah. And I said, you make on to the people that are leasing it, that they're not doing their job. And he said, you're going to Quilta. Oh, no, that's my forestry, he said.
There you are.
He was leasing it to stalkers, and they wouldn't do the job for him.
Yeah.
And he was complaining to us. I mean, you can't have it both ways. You have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you hinted at it there, where during COVID and stuff, where the price of meat drops, then the kind of the more commercial style stalking or deer hunting kind of died a death, and that's whereas if it was kept traditional, the normal stalkers would have kept them numbers kind of relatively low or relatively stable anyway,
Yeah, I had a French guy in here with me last year. He was over here fishing, and he wanted to shoot a sika, and he contacted a lot of the commercial operators in Wicklow to shoot a sika. He wanted just an average animal. He didn't want a gold medal or a silver medal. And any that he contacted, they all offered him gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal at a huge cost. And he said, no, I only want, he told me this story here. He only wanted an average animal. He just wanted to shoot a sika. And they all told him the same story, that they have middle class animals on their land, and in no circumstances would they let anybody fire a shot on that ground in case they'd frighten off the quality animals. They weren't going to let them quality animals be disturbed until they got a client for them. And there's where your problem is coming from. And then people will tell you they'll shoot females. They won't, because if you want to keep the stags on the ground, you must keep the females there to attract in the stags, and that's where your problem.
Yeah, no, I suppose I would add to that. I suppose without mentioning any names, there's a fella that there's a stalker we've gotten to know, and I would just say it's not across the board that there's definitely there's one we would know, and I went out with him on a couple of times, and I to quote him, I always remember him saying there was always people looking for a trophy.
Yeah.
But what is a trophy? A trophy to you might be a different trophy to me. And the trophy is not so much the animal that you're hanging up on your kitchen wall. It's the experience in getting out there. That's
100%.
That's what the trophy. And this was a commercial stalker that said this to me, and it resonated with me. And I went with him actually, and I've seen firsthand he is testament to that it's about the experience. It's not about getting your 12 pointer. It's about getting out there, and I suppose in one way they're showcasing, the beautiful country that we have, and some of the phenomenal shooting that is here too, I suppose,
Yeah, I'm the same. It's the experience. It's the stalk you had on the animal, and maybe it's the experience of having that animal on your ground and you're looking at him for several years, and when he comes to a stage then where he's suitable to take out.
Yes.
That you know what animals to leave there, and if you're used to seeing him there for several years, and when you see him then starting to go back, then you can take him out. That animal is worth a lot more to you than any trophy that somebody puts up in front of you,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt. Yeah. I give an example. I got me first. This is my first. I remember I have Wild Deer Association, but this is my first year actually deer hunting this year, and I got my first stag this year, but it was purely obviously because it was the season for them, and it was an experience. Like, to look at it, wasn't, I didn't get it mounted or anything like that, but it wasn't, I shared the experience with my son, and it's a day I'll never ever forget as long as I live.
Won't forget.
And that was the trophy, I suppose, for me,
Yeah, the lady that works here for me now, Emma, she got her first fallow buck last year, and I brought her out, and actually in December again she got him, which is hard to get him in December, but she got her animal in December. Now that meant so much to her, but that meant as much to me.
Yes, yeah.
Because she had done her homework. She's more knowledgeable about deer stalking than most of the fellas that I know. She's better with a gun than most of the fellas that I know. And to get that first buck, that meant so much to both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
they're the ones you don't forget.
Yes, exactly. It's something you'll never
encompasses,
forget.
I suppose, that's the what would you say, the hunting ethos by and large, by most hunters, there is a perception, I suppose, that we've spoken about a number of times where there's loads of perception in the from the neutral point of view that we welcome, kind of blast everything, but that's probably a very small portion of hunters in general. Yeah. Most people are in it for, like, we take a bit of meat for the freezer, for the kids and the family. Get out to, there's a bit of a community about the whole thing as well. You come back and you've stories to tell, and maybe the antler size got a little bit bigger by the time you got back to the to the pub or to the mates or whatever. But that's all part of it. But it's the what do you say, the global thing, isn't it? It's the whole experience from start to finish. The training, the getting out in the countryside, sharing with food, like what you did. That's an experience she'll never forget. And as you said, rightly said, one you won't either.
I won't either. Yeah,
exactly. I suppose we suppose that the main, well, I won't say the main reason. Obviously, we were delighted to have you on, but one thing we definitely wanted to touch base on. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk lately about some a certain firearms expertise committee that was formed, and some, I suppose, proposed changes to certain legislation, I suppose, if we can call it that. And in light of that, a committee was formed known as the FURG, the FURG committee, which I believe you were a member of, Ger.
Yeah.
And I suppose we were kind of talking to a few people. Obviously, Dan, in our last email, we were trying to, suppose, come up with a plan on ways where we could perhaps challenge this expertise committee. And you contacted myself during the week, and you were telling me that there was kind of a 4-pronged approach that FURG was taking in relation to I suppose trying to get some representation on that committee. So you might just share with us a bit on that, Ger.
Yeah, well, the first thing that we have to do is write to the committee and ask them to speak to some of us, to speak to a representative from us.
That's the firearms expedition.
Firearms expedition, yeah. And like that committee has changed since it was formed. Did people step in and step out of it? There was a superintendent representing the guards there in the beginning, and we had no issue whatsoever with him. But he's gone now, and they have another guy in his place that we have serious issues with, and he's trying to implement rules and regulations that are not even in legislation at the moment. So we have serious concerns that this has been a setup from day one, that they've done it that way. They have two supposedly independent people on the panel. One of them happens to be a friend of the minister's. Well, at least he is on Facebook anyway. And
which is
they're not belonging to any organisation or any group. So we have no feedback at all as to what they're talking about. But the minutes they release from their meetings, then they only release a real short little snippet of minutes, which gives us great concern as well, because what is being said and what is going on, because the minutes they release is only a 3-minute. There must be only 3-minute meetings, and we know the meetings go on for 2 hours. So, yes. They're definitely trying to hide something from us. We suspect that from some of the discussions that they're after having, we suspect that they're trying to bring in this no travel outside your own area, outside what your license says, your own parish or whatever is on your license.
Yes.
And moderators is another thing. Then they seem to not understand what a moderator is for.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
You would drive up High Street with a motorbike without a silencer on it. You wouldn't be long until they'd be after you.
Absolutely, yes.
It's the same with a moderator. If you fire, it's too late for me now. I have tinnitus.
Okay.
Badly. If Patrick say I want to lie on at 6 o'clock in the morning, if I wake up and I want to lie on, I can't, because once I wake up, the tinnitus will make sure you get up.
Okay.
And that's what moderators are for, is to stop the next generation from ending up with the problems that I have and that a lot of my generation have.
Yes.
And they're essential for that. And some guards will tell you then that, wear earmuffs when you're out. You can't wear earmuffs when you're out deer stalking. You can't.
No, not at all. No.
When you're deer stalking, you're listening to the blackbirds, you're listening to the other wildlife that's around to know what's moving and what's going on. If you're wearing earmuffs, you're not going to shoot anything.
No, it's a safety concern. I would say it would have the opposite effect. I think it can make the whole experience actually a lot more dangerous, because when you're hunting, you rely on your sight and your hearing, for safety as well as everything else,
Absolutely. But those are the concerns we have with this committee. Like, they don't seem to be based in fact and reality. We have a feeling they're trying to railroad stuff through on us, and the whole future of our sport is in jeopardy, and that's clay pigeon shooting, it's deer stalking, it's rough shooting, air rifles, everything. Like, they're looking at absolutely everything, and we don't think they're being genuine with us. So anyway, our first approaches, and we have written to the committee, and they haven't replied to us. Well, they have replied saying, we've got your letter, but they haven't said that they will meet us. Then we write to the minister and look for a meeting with Minister Brown. And Minister Brown is a minister from Wexford, and there's a hell of a lot of gun clubs in his area.
I believe actually Wexford, if I'm not mistaken, is the highest amount of gun ownership in the country, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and they're all his voters, and he seems to be trying to push this thing through, and he could pay a big price for it, because we're not going to lay down on this one. This one has to be fought right the whole way, like the Rise campaign. This has to be taken to the streets if necessary. But if you sit down, you see, if we start lobbying TDs and politicians now, the minister has a get out of jail card saying that we never even looked for a meeting with him, which we did previously. And he agreed to consult with us, but hasn't consulted.
Well, just on that, I suppose, look, you probably know we've been championing that. We've been championing. And look, I've had brief discussions with local councillor as we speak. But like, I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell you what I told him. You know, my belief is this. You know, that letter, the original letter, was sent back in 2020, the end of 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So we're now in February, March of 23. He's had his chance to respond, and I'd be urging, if there's politicians listening now, you know, he is better start acting soon. A reply to this group is it should be imminent. It should be immediate, because there's no way that we can sit around for another year and a half and hope that a TD comes back to us. If it's changed at the rate it's changing, we're in big trouble, you know.
Oh no, we have to move on this within days or weeks. But if you start asking questions in the Dáil, the minister, you're giving him a get out of jail card by saying that, oh, they never looked for a meeting, or that committee hasn't reported yet. So you have to go through that process. But we're halfway through that process now at the moment. And the next stage then will be every person lobby all your politicians, county councillors, and keep a record of who you've lobbied, because we want to put a record together of who's been lobbied and who has lobbied them, and what the responses are as well. Because what we have coming up, you have local elections coming up shortly, then you have European elections, and then you'll have a general election within a year and a half or 2 years. So it's the ballot box is the only way. It's the only thing that these people will be afraid of. Like, there's 250,000 votes in this, and we have to get our people out on the ground. We have to do it now. We're never in as much threat.
Absolutely, and I suppose I'm just going to, say it as I see it, which I do on occasion. Probably, you know, 80% of these TTs and local councils could not give two less of a shits about hunting, fishing, or me or you or anyone else. But at the end of the day, they rely on us for votes to put them in those positions. And it is their job, as the fellow says, as a rep, to represent the people, their voters, in issues that they're concerned about, whether it's a pothole on the side of the road or it's an issue with regard to firearm legislation. So that is what these people are there for. That's what we put them there for. So now this is what we're just following through what they're there for in the first place, you know.
I had a councillor in here a few years ago looking for a vote, and he was looking around here at the stuff that's here, you see, and he came along and he says, I still can't understand why any man would want more than one gun. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He was asking me for a vote. He was asking me for a vote at the same time.
I don't understand biochemistry, but that's because I didn't study it or I didn't train. You know, same thing. You know. So Jerry, you're asking us to hold fire, I suppose, on what we're jumping at the bit to do it for the minute anyway.
This is only a week or two now. It's only a week or two, and once the minister either refuses to meet us, or if he meets us and doesn't give us a fair and honest hearing, that's what we're looking for, is a fair and honest hearing. If he's prepared to do that, grand. But I have a feeling he's not prepared to do that. So we have to circle the wagons then at that stage and canvass all our politicians and canvass all the gunmen out there to join in organisations. That would be the Wild Deer Association or whatever they want to join. But you must be represented. If you're not represented there, you have no voice. I'm sorry, Jerry, I couldn't have got it.
I totally agree, but I'm going to be a little bit cantankerous here, as I can be from time to time. But look, at FURG, we only came. This organisation was set up probably a number of years ago now, or the collaboration between the groups anyway. We only became aware of it probably in the last 2 weeks or less. We've asked for kind of, what would you say, even some sort of a bulletin or an update, you know what I'm saying? But we almost had the podcast out, and then you contacted us, just to hold fire. But we'd be arguing that that's probably not good enough. Like, we need to be, we've a hell of a lot of people messaging and commenting on Facebook, and probably a little bit, they feel a little bit disenchanted,
left out maybe.
Left out, they're not involved. They don't know what's going on in these groups. So we're asking that, from ourselves as one of the social media platforms, and that this information, the minutes of the meetings are handed over or thrown down to us, or keep us informed, because like we're going ahead and ploughing our own furrow, as I say, and there's a lot of people behind us. But like we can't do what we don't know, and that's it's the age old thing with most of the groups. There's a disconnect between high level and the men on the ground, and we need to try and bridge that a bit,
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with you. We discussed that the other day ourselves, and we said we need to be getting our message out there to all the people that are on the ground now. I agree with you there totally.
Yeah.
But our legal advice was not to jump ahead of ourselves and start going straight to politicians without looking for a meeting with the minister first. So we've done that now. We've gone past that process. But now is the time now, within the next few days anyway, is the time to hit all these councillors, politicians, TDs, ministers.
Okay. Well, what we're going to say, Ger, so I suppose is, and I'm conscious we're sort of running a little bit out of time, but what we would say, I suppose, myself and Anthony would ask for is, if you can, as soon as you get word back, or you reach a point where you go, right, we've exhausted step 3, our last, now is time to get behind, get onto your law. Will you let us know as soon as you can? And we will relay that out through our social media avenues and through the podcast. And I would just, one other thing I would add, I absolutely agree that people out there, without any shadow of a doubt, should be a member of an organisation. I think it's great. It's beneficial on every single level, without a doubt. In saying that, if for the next 2 weeks you're not, you can still take it upon yourself to contact your own local representative as a concerned gun opener. That's not to say, I think I would strongly suggest to get involved. I'm a member of the Wild Deer Association. I'm in the WhatsApp group. I see all the great things that's going on for the cost of, literally a couple of euros for membership for the year. The benefits are definitely there. So I would urge you to do so. But if you are not, in the coming weeks, you can still play your part. Don't leave it up to the groups to do it. Be proactive and get involved yourself.
No, I guarantee you that as soon as we have a meeting and as soon as we make a decision, we'll come straight back to the public.
Yeah.
And let everybody know, because like you're saying, everybody needs to be on the same page and everybody needs to know what's happening.
Yes. And we need to have this email, a generic email or letter that we have it correct, we have it worded correct, we're pre-armed with it, that we're not giving it last minute. We're not saying, right, lads, we need to get this done this weekend. We want to know, like, we're going to be sitting here, Ger, and I'm not going to be beating around the bush about it, because by the end of March, if we've no further communication, I'd be championing that we start to go ahead and start we need to have the email formulated, ready to rock and roll. We need to let people know what's required of them, basically. That we know that there's something happening.
I guarantee you, within days we'll have a letter. Within days we'll have a letter that you can actually go to the members with.
Yeah, and I think to include on any letter or email, I suppose, because you said you have followed a procedure. I suppose a great way to say we've had 3 failed attempts at contacting.
Yes.
A minister, and we've been refusing them. So
yes, then you can. Then you can go to the next step then.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. And again, it's great stuff what you're doing between the Wild Deer Association and the FURG and all the various groups. And I suppose if nothing else, you will be getting, after this podcast, you will be getting the credit that you're doing.
Yes, and it's great to see, I suppose, Ger, like finally there's some sort of unified community in the hunting community. I think that's long overdue. I think the days of fucking fighting amongst ourselves now, excuse me language, but I think that should be behind us. We should be all collaborate. Whether you're a member of whichever organisation you pick is grand, but we're all hunters at the end of the day. We're all country sports people, be it horse, be it fox and hound, horse and hound, be it deer stalking or rough shooting, or fishing for that matter,
Or fishing. Well, I'm on the board of Face Ireland as well, and we represent all field sports.
Yes. Yes.
And again, Face Ireland is represented in this group as well. There's 27 different organisations represented in this FURG group.
Brilliant.
Which that's brilliant, yeah, absolutely. And I would also suggest, and it's just a suggestion, that even if all this is put to bed in a couple of months, and we get everything that we want, I think wouldn't FURG going forward be a great idea, even once or twice a year, to get together and touch base and discuss different things. And I think it is a great idea,
Yeah.
It is, yeah. We were forced into doing it, and now we have to continue. Yeah.
I suppose out of every crisis comes a solution. So comes an opportunity rather. So this could be.
You take I know you're running out of time now, but you take a simple incident there where if you were renewing a firearms license after 3 years, just for an ordinary 2-2. And if your circumstances hasn't changed in that 3 years, all you do is you tick a box saying your circumstances hasn't changed, and it's an automatic renewal.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's one of the guys on this committee, and he won't give you an automatic renewal. He sends out 18 questions, a questionnaire with 18 questions on that you must answer before he'll renew, which is in legislation. It states that it must be renewed if no circumstance has changed. It must be renewed.
Yeah.
He won't renew it.
No.
So he's one of the guys now that's going to make the rules for the rest of us,
Yeah, and look,
that's what we have to fight.
We've touched on this. Another thing, I suppose, office that FURG will be fighting for is and we've kind of said from day one, is what we would class as a streamlined approach to firearms applications. I.e., you meet the criteria, you get the license. You don't meet it, you don't get it, and it shouldn't be up for individual interpretation from various superintendents.
Should be, I agree totally with you. There should be a central licensing body and have the same criteria and the same rules and regulations for everybody. We're all citizens of the state, and we're all citizens of the one state, and there shouldn't be a different rule in when you cross a border into one county into the other.
Yeah, and our constitution states we're entitled to it. So
yes, exactly.
Men fought and died for it. So let's see. Can we honour them and honour the few people that went before us?
Yeah,
isn't there?
Gentlemen.
You're a gentleman. Thanks a million for your time.
Pleasure to meet you, lads. Yeah, and I'll see you at the dog tracking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very much looking forward to that. Yeah.
Thanks, Ger.
No problem. All right, cheers, lads. Thank you.
Ger, thanks a million. Take it easy now.
Cheers. Okay. Cheers. Thanks.
Bye. And we're back. That was the Ger Obrien from the Wild Deer Association and also the FURG group. What do you think of that?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, look, I think we're obviously, you can probably tell we're a little bit anxious to get stuff moving. So, but in fairness to Ger, like, he's an experienced man, a good man to have on the panel, as they say.
Yes, and it was good to talk to somebody directly on the panel too, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and get a bit of feedback.
Yeah, I
think the couple of highlights, I suppose, is obviously he's an experienced man. He's a lot to offer, and he doesn't mind sharing his experience, which is it's not always what would you say, forthcoming.
Some people
in our community.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I suppose kind of one of the things we wanted to drive home with him was that, and I said this to him on our phone conversation, was they're doing all this stuff, but they're not advertising, they're not passing on the information, which is kind of it's doing them more harm than good, and it's also very counterproductive.
Nail on head, Bernie. They met last Wednesday.
Yeah.
We weren't informed of it. We still haven't been informed until Ger made contact. You know what I mean?
Yes, so I agree.
I suppose that's symptomatic of it, and I'm not saying but we are the, what would you say, the medium?
Yes, between them.
Yeah. So
yeah,
and I suppose if social media is the way forward, well, then we're going to have to pass it down to us. We need to try and get it.
Yeah,
and we've huge amount of messages coming in the other side looking to get behind our initiative. To what do we do? Do we send this letter? Do we not? What are we going to write? When's the letter? Are you going to write up a template? We've all these messages coming through.
Exactly. And look, as the fellow says, you've heard it from the horse's mouth there. We have said it to him. You'll hear it in the interview. Obviously, you've heard it in the interview. We couldn't have been more direct. As soon as they know word, we want them to let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know. As soon as they get word, we'll pass on the information. And as well as that, you've heard it itself. It's going to be the next couple of days. Maybe it'll be out before this podcast even airs, but as soon as it is out, we will let you know.
We'll let you know. Yeah.
And if we have no joy by then, we will be certainly launching the email or the the HEF, as we pronounced it earlier on, get in contact with your local councillor. That's what it's going to take, you know.
Yeah, look, I think we've put a line in the sand, which we want. Like it's 2.5 years now, so we believe. I don't think we're being overzealous in the fact that, you know, the government have kind of had their chance to reply to emails and letters. We're going to let FURG do their thing over the next week or so.
Yes.
And keep us informed. And if not, we're going to plough ahead with the letter anyway, you know. So
exactly.
And look, we want to do it as a community together.
Yes.
That's our initiative originally, so we don't want to be going in our own direction.
No.
If needs must, that's what we're going to have to do.
Yes, absolutely. I think the most important thing, regardless of what way it goes, is that we all do something.
All do something, yeah.
If we can do it all collectively, all the better.
Yeah.
But as long as we all get to do it, and I will strive again. I've said it in the interview, and I will say it again. Everyone can take part in this, whether you're a member of any organisation, all the organisations, or none of the organisations.
Yeah.
You play a massive part in this.
Yeah, and if you have a gun at home that you license and you take out once a year or once every 5 years or once every 6 years.
Yes.
This is your fight as well.
Without a doubt.
Do you know?
Yeah. It's your chance to get out and say so, you know.
Yeah.
Have your speak.
And I would suggest as well, similar to that, the fishing community and the equine. I think we've mentioned it a couple of times. We need everyone to get behind us.
Yeah. I
watched a little bit of Cheltenham there, just caught a glimpse of it at the end of a race there today, and I was thinking to myself, you know, Gardnelli just popped up on the thing, you know, and there was a man under pressure a couple of years ago, you know.
Yeah.
And horse racing in Ireland, horse racing in general, I said, is under attack, you know.
Absolutely, it's under attack. Yeah, and it has been for years.
Yeah,
you know.
And if like they'll be obviously because they're probably one of the larger organisations, and there's a huge amount of money tied up in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from foreign investment as well.
Yeah.
And they're kind of semi-shielded a little bit.
Yeah.
But make no mistake, like we're all like, you might not, you know, hunt with guns and stuff like that, but a lot of you hunt with you guys hunt with, and girls hunt with foxes and hounds. And that's all enveloped in this, you know. We're a community, country sports, you know.
That's what we are, yeah.
Hit that home, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So, get out there and we will, as soon as we know more, we will be bringing the news straight to you, and then we'll be launching our plan, and that's what's going to happen. We're going to get changed, and that's whatever way we have to do it.
It'll probably it'll probably encompass, you know, obviously the letters. It'll be the first instalment, but it'll probably need a little bit more than that. It's going to need some sort of form of protest, and I don't think we should stop. When we, like, you made the point to Ger, you know, once we get a voice on this panel,
yep,
we shouldn't stop there. We've huge amount of, I suppose, work to be done, catch-up work now, you know. We need funding, you know, funding for conservation work.
Look, it goes back to, what was it, or maybe just our third episode with Kim Gannon.
Yeah.
You know, going out there, like, and representing her country and putting herself to massive expense to do so.
Yeah.
Not so much as she got nothing. You know, didn't get a thing, like.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, that is wrong. When you take the money that we put into the economy.
Yeah.
That is wrong.
Had to buy her own kit.
Yeah, man, that's ridiculous. Like, remember, as we spoke again, the Irish girls, the soccer team, you know, like, that was outrageous what was going on there, you know. And thankfully, I think for the best of my knowledge, which wouldn't be a lot, that has been rightified a bit, you know. Which is only bloody right.
You take that, man. There was more of a furore about them singing a song in the dressing room than there was about them.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
Having to fucking change out in their bloody cars and not being allowed to use it, like handing back, paying for their own kit, like, ridiculous.
Talking about people not going to the World Cup and all kinds of stuff about political. That was our a song about our history. Let's not forget.
Honest to God, yeah.
There's people like this is as they're entitled to do. There's people that go up and down. And sing songs about William of Orange, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 100%.
It's part of our history and heritage, like on both sides. And there's, you know what I mean. I know there has to be, calm. I'm not trying to incite any, but like there's a little semblance of sense here, you know.
Yeah, like, absolutely. Yeah.
Women had to get changing cars. They were getting no support, no funding.
No,
they hadn't decent training facilities or kit.
No.
Bar what they provided themselves.
Yeah.
And then in the news, that gets headline after headline after headline for singing a song and not a fucking word about the other stuff.
Yeah. So 100%.
But that's sensationalism, you know, and that's the way it's gone now, you know.
Without a doubt, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we as I suppose getting back to, I suppose, what we were talking about.
Sorry, yeah,
even when
I digress.
No, but even when all this is hopefully put to bed and all that it doesn't stop there. We've other issues, as we said, we want sorted. We want some fun, and for people like that, our industry, we want to see some sort of return on from the exchequer on what we're putting in there. So it'll be an ongoing thing.
There's loads of things, man. My head is buzzing. We want, like hundreds of and thousands of acres of game crop, proper game crop be sold, sown, and like that, the money that we're inputting in the exchequer could be used to fund farmers, to incentivize farmers.
Yes,
you know, the proper hedging. You know, keep ditches alive. You know, rather than fucking filling in drains for crop farming
to get some sort of a grant or something. Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Wrong.
And talk to the people on the ground. Like, we're losing huge amounts of hedgerows and wildlife, and we're not in that conversation.
Yes.
And we're essentially the custodians of it.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah,
no, definitely. Some of that will definitely
I've one idiot on a group, right? I was out fox hunting, right? And I put pictures up of what I was doing on the fox hunting group.
Yes.
And I've an idiot asking, like, why I was doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
I'm sort of saying, you're a member of this fox hunting group.
Yeah.
Fox hunting.
Yeah. If you don't fucking know why we're doing it, or you don't agree with
it. Well, you shouldn't be on that group.
Fuck out.
Yeah.
To fuck. It's simple as that.
Yeah, you like.
Excuse the language, but what the fuck are you doing?
Another girl, I explain it in as, I think you've seen the message in as simple detail as I can. We're huge in conservation. And one other woman commented at the end of it, well, that can't be classed as hunting then, can it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went out.
Yeah.
I trekked.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
know.
spotted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I crept in. I don't
hunting?
know what else you can call it.
College, yeah. It goes back to another podcast that I listened to recently. A lot of these people, and I will say on both sides of the fence, a lot of these people that are pro or completely anti-hunting and then the other people that are like, you know, there's hunters out there that want to shove it in everybody else's face that they should be. Yeah, experts. It's down to a thing called control. Some of these people lack probably confidence in their own right, and it's control. They're trying to control you by saying you shouldn't be doing that. They're trying to change you and trying to control you. And that's
one other lad. You obviously call me a gobshite, you know, but like that's wonderful. Like keyboard warrior, you know, exactly. Grant. I've been called worse.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Not too many times. Straight to my face, but do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
on the other side of it, like, it's very easy to write words, and like, he was obviously born with a set of night vision eyes and a silencer strapped to his nostrils. You know what I'm saying? Do you know, he was born with a gun in his hand. You know, because he
knows it all.
He knows it all.
Yeah.
So I would suggest, you know, that I posted that again, Mayo Hunting and Fishing. So if you don't like the hunting and fishing, that I'm doing, well, then
remove yourself.
First.
Without
I ain't going nowhere.
No, absolutely, man. Without doubt, yeah. I suppose before now, you getting bad humour again because you were in bad humour the last one. So
was I? Yeah.
You were a little bit
bad humour everywhere.
Nah, sure, no, fucking man, nobody had you. Come here, Operation Emerald Lady, man, is fucking. She's
in full tilt.
She's in full tilt, man. We're at the trailer. Trailer's coming along well.
Timber work is going okay. The weather isn't exactly conducive to it. She's a little bit wet.
Yeah.
And so I have the boat in our yard, and we'll be doing the timber work and the polishing and prepping. And Brenny's you're on the steel duty.
The fabricating and the things, get the trailer up and running, man. It's literally, I was just thinking the other night, it probably would have been quicker and cheaper to just buy a whole new like, I turned it inside out, re-welded every inch of it. I'm going to sand it all down and paint it. I put all new wheel bearings, new tyres, made mud guards, lights, hitch, all that. There's nothing left.
I hope you're not expecting this just quite as much detail, which is probably the end we need the most. They're looking, I don't mind that little hole.
Oh man, I was laughing at who I can't remember who was telling us the story that they were out one night. Oh man, I can't remember who the fuck. Maybe it was Andy. telling a story. Someone was out after ducks, of course, heading across the lake for 3 o'clock in the morning to get himself, into a little secure spot, and about 600 meters off the shoreline, noticed a splashing and looked around and realised quite quickly that there was a shit ton of water coming into the boat. Upon closer inspection, realised that the drain plug wasn't in it. So I says, what the fuck did you do? How did you? The only thing I could think of doing, he says, I took off my boot and took off my sock and I wedged my toe into it. I couldn't stop fucking laughing.
Homer Simpson.
I was like, I took off my boot and took off my sock and I fucking wedged my big toe into the door. Just picture him. I was like, I can't remember who it was. He was telling me about. I was like, oh my god, that's the best thing I've ever heard.
Jesus.
You just visualise this fella coming across with his fucking toe stuck in the water.
I'm pretty sure that the sock where we would have sealed it just
probably. Oh, you wanted a good tight seal with this wedge of toe.
airtight.
Oh, I thought it was the best thing ever. That was brilliant.
Yeah, well, look, she's going. It's getting there.
It's getting there. She's going the right direction. We'll have her in the water in the next couple of weeks, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we need to we're doing a little bit of fishing. Jack, I think, is coming on the 25th.
Yeah, we're under pressure. We need to get
I know, man.
Fucking hell, man.
And he sent us he's
recipes and stuff.
Ideas, man. It's just
So if you sell fish, no, we're going to catch some fish. We're going to get some trout for them.
Don't rule it out. No, we will.
We will. Hopefully, yeah.
So if you see an 18 stone man snorkeling in the black water with a net, that's illegal, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
It's illegal if you're on the bank, but how about if you're swimming?
If you're in the water. Normal rules don't apply.
Don't apply, yeah. So I wasn't on the river, I was in the river.
Oh, man. Yeah, so we're going to come on. He's got some savage ideas. I think one little idea is fish taco, whatever. How good does that sound? Yeah, tacos are fucking class. Anyway, man.
Yeah.
Trout tacos would be unbelievable.
Trout tacos, yeah, that could be a thing, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And
that
then
could
the
be
pigeon. He's doing spatchcock pigeon.
Spatchcock, unreal. Yeah, that'd be class.
Alabama
man.
sauce or something. I'm hoping not giving it. No, I'm not giving it away anymore.
No, that Alabama, man. Shoo, man, that is unbelievable. I tasted that. That is class. So,
what time is it? Dinner time, is it?
Hungry time. I already have a dinner and I'm fucking hungry again, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so we have that coming up.
Yep.
What's going on then next week, Bernie? What are we doing?
Next week we're going to get out fishing, man. We're going to have to get out fishing, so we're going to try and get out fishing. Maybe over the weekend, I might try and get down to the Blackwater somewhere and get out and chance our arm after a couple of trout. Maybe
I might try and get out tomorrow, actually, if I can. I think the weather is not to be too bad.
Is it not? Okay.
Rob is supposed to be off tomorrow, so.
Okay.
You were supposed to be off tomorrow, but your plans are...
A man of my calibre, I just can't take days off,
you're a wanted man.
That's just the way it works, No, I'd like to be off, but so, let us keep us posted if you're going out.
Just, I suppose, on getting back to in terms of FURG, I know we're going to finish up on it, but look, it's one thing we want to reiterate. We're delighted and we're 100% behind the hunting community coming together. That's one aspect that we're delighted.
Yes.
Because we've been championing since we started. But the other side of it is, I suppose, look, I did jump the gun a little bit, probably. Well, no, I didn't. I'm not apologising for it. Apologise to absolutely no one.
Where did we hear that before?
But no, I made contact with Paul Ward, the local councillor here. And I tried to extract Paul's opinion about hunting, but he wouldn't... in true political form, as I told him, wouldn't elaborate. But look, I don't mind if he's Paul won't mind me saying he's originally from Tala, and I said, but that's a good hunting community as you know what I mean. And him were growing up. Tala was in the countryside, so
exactly.
I have good mates from Tala, Rob being one of them. Mark Lynn being another man. Huge hunting men from Tala. So I think that's probably just highlighted the disconnect. Now I'm from a town. Yeah, but exactly. We know plenty of people from towns. You know, you can hunt and you can fish. So I kind of, as much as I could stuff into the conversation, I did. You know, I said, look, we're hugely underfunded for what we put into the.
Yeah.
I said, you know, the I tell them about school work, about the conservation work. I said, I have about 8-10 initiatives that I want to try and achieve with the gun club at the minute.
Yes.
I said, and we get zero funding. Well, now that I might be able to put a few feelers out and see what's available for them. But like, I know what's going to happen. There's going to be a mountain of pay. Like, I'm looking for a couple of £100, and you're going to have to go mountain of paperwork and be a member of an organisation. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, and taking the work out of it. The groups should be handed down a certain amount of money, and that should be filtered directly down to the clubs.
Yes, without a doubt, yeah.
That's going to present its own set of problems when that day arises, because some clubs, how do you divvy it out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look, 100%, yeah.
But nonetheless, I think it'd be better than nothing, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, look, in fairness to the NARGC, do you know what I mean? They are pretty forthcoming in terms of what's been filtered down. I mean, we do get our subsidy for our birds.
Yes.
We do get subsidies towards our vermin control and the duck nesting tubes. And
materials for pens and stuff like that. You can,
exactly.
Definitely.
Is there material? Can you claim for material?
You used to be able to, I think, anyway. Yeah, there was some grants and stuff going. I'm not 100% in that now.
Well, I actually now, and because I was new to this game, and I asked one of the Kildare Federation members, and I hope it wasn't your man who told me it was fucking an hour or 45 minutes late last week. Because I'll have 2 bones to pick. But he didn't know I had to send him in my ideas, and he'd kind of see which ones he was. Okay.
I'm pretty sure you could have at some stage. That could be a long time ago, but I'm definitely sure I heard that somewhere. That you could have, so look, that could be all changed. Yeah.
Most definitely, I'll be putting in for material if it is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Look, it's there, and they're there to help. And sure, that's what it's all about. You know, without a doubt. They're not getting a wage of it. So if it's there to be distributed, and you can qualify for it, you'll get it. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, as I say, I'm only being. I think the point I'm getting at is the guarding of some of the information.
Yeah.
And it was, the newer, probably the new members and stuff, and the kind of the new guard are a little bit more forthcoming, obviously. They recognise that, it is not closed shop anymore. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like, as Shane said, where'd you get the fish? Down the river. Fuck off. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not that kind of mentality
it's more
anymore.
More common knowledge now. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. I suppose we should better wrap it up now shortly. Next, as I said, we spoke earlier on about some of the stuff coming up. The deer tracking event, we are going to try and be down at it. The angling fair, we will certainly be down at it because we have a bit more time coming up for stuff like that. Anything else that is going on. Now, there is a big predator battle coming on. I'm not going to speak too much about it now because I want to get all the information about it, but it is going on in September on Lough Derg, I believe. A 3-day event. Serious prizes up for grabs on this. But we will be talking more about that in due course.
Brilliant.
So it's something that is coming up on it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's it, I suppose.
That's a wrap, Brenny.
We'll wrap it up. If you're out after doing any sort of hunting, field sports, fishing, enjoy it, I suppose, and stay safe.
Stay safe. Over and out.
Have fun. Take it easy.